Hello, my crafty friends. So today we're going to make a couple of artichokes to put on our Thanksgiving centerpiece. And I'm going to use, I've got a spun cotton egg. You can see I've kind of put some stuff on it, took it off. And that I've attached to an 18 gauge wire that I covered with the same crepe paper that I'm going to make the artichoke with. And I've hot glued it on there. So I've got the paper, I've got some scissors and some glue. I also have a palette of blue and green pan pastels that we'll add. So we're going to start by doing the part up on the very top. And I just got to have a strip here of crepe paper. It's probably about 6 inches. And I'm going to cut, this isn't cut perfectly straight there, so I'll straighten that up. Okay, I'm going to cut a piece that's probably about 1.5 inches to start with. And we'll do the top row. So I'm going to give this just a little bit of a stretch, not too much. And I'm going to cut some little, I'll show you here. Just some little teardroppy pieces. That. And I like to cut my, I think I would do 4 with this one. I like to cut my crepe paper with 3 layers just because I find it's easy to cut through 3 layers. So this should do the top row. And we're just going to cup the tip of that. Get a good cupping on the very tip so that curls. Can you see the way that curls under? Because we're going to create excuse me, we're going to create that little tip on there. I've made these before with crepe paper. I've also done them with some fun ones with just text weight paper as well. Okay, so in these, we're going to put a little bit of glue along the top and some on the bottom for this first row. That should get us started. So let's just take this and we're going to come up off of the egg. Too high there. There we go. You want to come right up so that you're creating a point up there at the top. Take the next one. Same thing. If you've ever studied a real artichoke, they do have that cupping that comes up over the top. Like that. And they're pretty tight on the top. Let's do a couple more. We'll do the rest of these. These are probably, these are the ones that you're going to put the most glue on. Because you do want to get that, you want them to kind of stick to each other on the top. There we go, get some glue on the bottom. Man, it does not want to cooperate, does it? There we go. This is probably going to give us the first row. There you go. So there's our first row. Okay. So we're going to cut some more, and we're going to make these a little bit longer. This will be our next row. Again. And be mindful of your machine lines on your crepe paper. I would not want this at the top. I want it at the bottom of the petal. Here, I'll do this. Oh, did not stretch this out. I probably should, just a little. But this will be enough for a row. Okay, do the same thing. We're going to cup them so that they turn in at the top. We'll put some glue on these. And you don't need to put glue on the top of these, just on the bottom. I don't like the way that one looks. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. You want to get that to where it curves. You want to just pull away just a little from, and these you'll spread out just a little more. An artichoke is actually a thistle, and I might just add a thistle to add a little more glue, a little higher on here. And if you've ever cut open an artichoke, you know that the leaves are in rows. If you left an artichoke on the plant, the thistle will grow up and out of it, and these would open up. Could we use one more there? Let's go ahead and use one of these. I think we can do that. Use one of the ones we did before. Even though they're a little smaller, I think that will work. There we go. Yeah, sure. There we go. See? Okay. So there's the second row. Third row is going to be a little longer. And you just eyeball this and just go a little longer each row. And let's give it a little bit of a stretch because we don't need all that. And again, be mindful of your machine lines. So see, our machine line's down here. I wouldn't want it up towards the top. I want it to be below that. I'll do. Okay, do the same thing here. Now, some of these are fatter than others, and we're just going to mix them up. We're going to make sure that those turn under. Okay. Again, we're going to glue. Okay, so I want to go down a little bit from the last row. Go down about, what is that, 1/4 of an inch or so, 3/8 of an inch. And again, these are going to be kind of close together, and we're going to go wider as we go further down. Now you can see I'm sliding down. I'm going to pull that up a little bit. There we go. Sliding down a little bit again. Don't have quite enough, so I'll cut a couple more. And you can see I actually have started to like list upward, but we'll get them down to match up. So I'm gonna cut one again a little bit bigger, and I'm gonna cut 3 of this size. I want to stretch it a little bit first. Okay. And the fact that they're longer is okay. They'll just stick down a little further. So you want to get that little tilt there. This row. Then we're going to go way wider on the next row. Okay, so we're going to cut these considerably wider. These are probably about an inch or so wide. Do some more. And the length isn't as important as the width is. Again, my machine line is at the bottom. Do this one with 4. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to cup it. We'll make these wide, nice and wide. So you can see it's not going to take a huge amount of paper to make one of these. That one got messed up. You know what? I'm going to pull out. I'm going to come back in and stretch these bottoms out just a little bit so that they'll lay flatter. I think that might work a little better, just here on the bottom. Okay, so let's put some glue on these. This goes pretty quickly, so you should be able to glue quite a few of these at the same time. Okay, so we're going to go down. You can see it's really starting to get that artichoke look. And we'll make this one a little further apart. So we're going to put the next one in between there. So we go down and just bring your paper down. And then we'll drop down, go in between. So in these, it's going to be more noticeable. So you want these to be in between the previous ones. You don't want them lining up. Get some more. And again, the length isn't going to be so, as we get down towards the bottom, the length isn't going to be as important as the width. So probably going to go a little air on the side of a little shorter here because I am getting down towards the bottom. Give it a stretch. Make it nice and wide. And I'm going to need, oh, I got one more roll of paper here. Let's take this one and do this one as well. So I'm going to do it this one, so I'm going to cut it right below the machine line here. Give it a stretch and make them wide. May need to cut a little more paper. This is Carte Fini 180, number 561, if you're interested. And I'm going to do some interesting coloring on this that I think is going to make it really cool. I'll show you that when we get to the end. So I'm going to do the same thing. Make sure you get the cupped up at the top. Doesn't matter what it's like on the bottom so much. This is just to add some texture, interest to our centerpiece that we're going to put together. This one should be a little pointier. Okay, let's just do them 4 at a time here. Okay, let's see where we left off. Go in here. As we get down towards the bottom here, we're probably going to need a little more glue to hold it up onto. The last row will stick out, but this row, we still want it to cup in a little bit. Okay. keep coming in. So isn't this an easy project? This isn't hard at all. You just need a little, except for when it jumps out of your hands, a little crepe paper, a little patience. See, now as we're getting down towards the bottom, we'll just wrap that paper onto the stem. We'll do this one this way. Go. Hold it down for a minute. And that's the thing with this heavyweight crepe paper is you do have to hold it down a little longer than just because of the creping. Now I really only need a few more pieces. So let's cut just a piece here. More than enough. And I'm going to cut these a little shorter. Let's see what we got. Give them a stretch. Make it wide. There we go. Okay, let's put these on there. I think I'm gonna need to cut some more. Now on this row, we're going to do this a little differently here. Okay. See how I've got a I'm going to put it in between the leaves that are there. Put them in here. There we go. And you don't really even, because this is all that's going to show in your arrangement, you don't even really need to finish off this stem any more than this. So there you have it. I am going to take this outside. I'm going to let it dry a little bit first, but then I'm going to just go in with my fingers and fluff out these leaves a little bit. To make sure that they all have a nice cup in them. And then I'm going to take this outside and I'm going to hit it with a little Design Master Gold, just kind of on the top, and I'll bring it back and I'll show it to you. Okay, so I went outside and I hit this with a little Krylon, or not Krylon, Design Master. Show it to you. It's Design Master 24 karat pure gold, quick drying, rich plating look. And I did just the tip, then I sprayed it from the bottom to get that look. And again, it gives you a lot of nice dimension. I think that's going to look really pretty in our Thanksgiving arrangement. So I'm going to make a couple more out of different colors, and then I'll show them all to you when they're all done. Okay, so here you have it, my finished artichokes. So this is the one that I did with the green, and I showed you that I sprayed it. I'm going to actually fluff it out just a little. And then I did one, this is the one that was done with the mocha. And what I did was I sprayed it with a little bit of black, the color tool, Design Master color tool, hit it with a little bit of black. And then from the underside, I sprayed it with gold, and it gave it a really cool metallic look. And then this one, actually, this is the lighter color. Let me show you what I started with. This one started with that color, and this one started with that color. So I did the same thing with both of these. I hit them from the top with a little bit of black color tool, and then the gold from the underside. And they look really metallic. Same thing with this one, and then the gold from the underside. So that when they go in our arrangement, I think they're going to look really pretty in there. Add a nice little bit of texture and pop to our arrangement. And I'm going to be using paper flowers for my Thanksgiving arrangement, but you can use real flowers and incorporate these in there as well. Whatever, as I always say, the world is your oyster. You can do it any way you want. Because I'm a paper florist, I'm going to do paper flowers. And I am going to show you how to put together a beautiful Thanksgiving centerpiece. And we're going to include these in the centerpiece. So thanks once again for joining me. I had fun making this. I hope that you make some, and please share them with me. Don't forget to use the hashtags Crafting with Susan B and Handcrafted Holiday 2019. And if you haven't done so already, if you enjoy my tutorials and my videos, please like and subscribe on YouTube. I so appreciate it when you do that. So once again, thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And let's have fun decorating for the holidays.